Ah, the truth. Slippery little thing, isn't it? Everybody says they want it, they crave it, they demand it, but the second it starts crawling out from under the rug, squirming in the light, suddenly everyone looks away. Too bright, too loud, too real. Because truth, it's not polite. It's not dressed up in fancy words and Sunday smiles. No, truth is raw, ugly. It's got sharp teeth and it bites. You see, we've been taught to smile through the lies, to nod politely while the world burns down behind us, to accept the script like obedient little actors in someone else's show. But that curtain, it's tearing. The spotlight's on, and guess what? The truth. It's walking on stage whether you're ready or not. People fear the truth more than they fear lies, because lies are easier to digest, smoother going down like sugar laced with poison. The truth? Oh no, the truth scratches your throat on the way in. It rattles your bones. It makes you squirm in your seat. It doesn't hold your hand or pat you on the back. It slaps. It stings. And people, well, they don't like to bleed in public. They want comfort, not confrontation. They want the illusion that everything's under control, even when they're spiraling into chaos. So what do? They reach for the lie, again and again. Dress it up, serve it on a silver platter, and call it wisdom. Lies tell you what you want to hear. The truth tells you what you need to hear. And that's the difference. That's why people run. They'll drown in distractions just to avoid looking at the mirror too long. Because deep down, they know. Oh, they know. They know that the job they show up to every day is killing them inside. They know the relationships they keep are hollow echoes of real connection. They know they're pretending. And if they let the truth in, if they really let it in, it would burn the whole thing down. So they fear it, not because it's wrong, but because it's right. Truth has a funny way of stripping things bare. It doesn't care how carefully you built your story. It'll tear through it like fire through paper. And when it does, what's left? Just you. No filters, no followers, no applause, just the raw version, the you without the script. And that terrifies people. Because they've built identities around lies. They've based self-worth on acceptance, not authenticity. They've played roles for so long, they've forgotten what it feels like to just be. So the truth becomes the enemy, not because it hurts them. Ever notice how society treats truth tellers? They laugh at them, mock them, call them crazy, dangerous, not because they're wrong, but because they're inconvenient. They disturb the peace, they shake the stage. And the audience? They're not ready for the show to end. They came here to be entertained, not awakened. They didn't pay for discomfort, so they boo, they throw stones, they try to silence the voice that reminds them of everything they're ignoring. That's the game. The more truth you speak, the more resistance you meet. And not from your enemies. No. From your friends, your family, your own reflection. But lies? Lies are seductive. They promise peace, safety, belonging. They let you stay asleep. You can keep your job, keep your friends, keep your status. All you have to do is not ask questions. All you have to do is smile, nod, blend in. Don't rock the boat. Don't question the rules. And definitely don't say out loud what everyone's secretly thinking. That's the deal. You shut your mouth and you get to play. Open it, and suddenly you're the problem. You're too intense, too negative, too honest. But tell me this, since when did honesty become a crime? The truth has no PR team, no sponsors, no followers. It doesn't trend. It doesn't beg for likes. It just exists, silent, patient, waiting for you to stop pretending. And once you do, once you look it in the eye, oh, there's no going back. No more fake smiles, no more chasing approval. You either live aligned with it, or you start dying inside, slowly, quietly, day by day, because deep down, the body knows, the soul knows. You can fake it all you want, but that ache in your chest at night, that's the price you pay for ignoring the truth. And still, people fear it. Because it demands action. It demands that you stop blaming, stop waiting, stop making excuses. It pulls you out of victimhood and slaps responsibility in your lap. Here, it says, fix it. But most people don't want that. They want someone else to blame, a villain to point at, a system to curse. Because if it's someone else's fault, you don't have to change. You get to stay in your mess and maybe even feel righteous about it. But the truth, it doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't care about your comfort zone. It just shines unapologetically until you either wake up or cover your eyes. And what's wild is some people would rather go their whole lives blindfolded than face that light. They'd rather live in a beautifully decorated prison than walk through fire to reach freedom. They call it stability. They call it maturity. But really, it's fear dressed in a suit and tie. It's cowardice painted as wisdom. Because being honest with yourself, that takes guts. That takes madness. That takes ripping up the rule book and rewriting the damn thing in your own blood. And not many people are willing to bleed for the truth. They want the truth to come quietly, politely, like a guest knocking on the door. But truth, it doesn't knock. It breaks in. And once it's in, it doesn't leave just because you're uncomfortable. It stays. It sits in the room with you. It stares until you acknowledge it, or until it destroys everything you built to keep it out. The truth is never silent. It's just been buried under convenience, smothered, actually. Pushed down like some shameful secret no one wants to admit they know. You ever notice how people talk about peace of mind like it's the goal? But real peace doesn't come from hiding the truth. It comes from facing it. But that's not what they teach you. No, they hand you a remote, a double shot of dopamine, 100 apps to scroll your soul into numbness. because it's easier to stay comfortable than it is to dig. Digging's messy, dirty, uncomfortable. And the things you find, they don't always smile back at you. People don't want truth. They want relief. They want to feel okay, even when they're not. So they wrap themselves in layers, titles, trends, toys, all distractions. The loudest lives are often the ones trying hardest not to listen, because when it gets quiet, that's when the truth starts whispering. That's when it pokes through the cracks in your mask, asking questions you're not ready to answer. Are you happy? Do you know why you're here? Are you alive or just running on autopilot? Those aren't polite questions. No one wants them at dinner parties. They ruin the flavor of comfort food. So the truth gets buried under tasks, under expectations, under fake smiles and deeper lies. We build a whole culture around it, a stage, a script, a performance, and we play our parts. Everything's great. I'm fine, just busy. Lies. Tiny, polished lies. But lie enough times, and the truth doesn't go away, it just starts to rot. And that rot, you feel it in your chest, in your spine. In that moment you're alone and everything feels too quiet. That's not boredom. That's the truth trying to claw its way out. The funny part? The truth doesn't scream. It never has to. It just waits, patient, unmoved. It knows something you don't. It knows that eventually the noise won't be enough. Eventually the distractions stop working. The parties aren't fun. The job feels hollow. The applause doesn't echo like it used to. And in that silence it speaks, not with words, but with weight, pressure, that deep, gnawing ache that something is butters off. That's not random. That's not depression. That's not burnout. That's the truth, baby. Saying hello. But we keep pretending, keep smiling for the camera, keep telling people, living the dream while dying a little every day. We even compete over who's got the better illusion. Look at my house, my car, my relationship, but no one talks about the screaming match that happened before the photo, or the panic attack after the party, because the truth doesn't get likes, doesn't go viral. The truth is boring, it's raw, it's uncomfortable, and that makes it dangerous, because if enough people started speaking it, really speaking it, the whole damn system would tremble. They'd rather you stay numb, docile, distracted. They hand you comfort like a leash. Here, take this. Feel better. But better doesn't mean real. Better doesn't mean awake. It means quiet, obedient, controlled. But truth, it doesn't fit in a prescription. You can't filter it. You can't monetize it. It just is. It sits in your bones, waiting for you to stop pretending. And the day you stop, oh, that's the day things get loud. That's the day your soul stops whispering and starts screaming. And the world, it doesn't know what to do with a person like that, a person who's done lying to themselves, done playing along. You speak truth now, you're a problem. You don't want to numb out anymore, you're too intense. You want real love instead of filtered affection. You're asking for too much, but you're not. You're asking for reality, for meaning, for depth. And that terrifies people, because if you find it, it means they could have found it too. And they didn't. They chose silence. They chose comfort. But the truth never asks for your permission. It doesn't knock. It breaks in. Kicks the furniture over, pulls the curtains down, and if you're brave or broken enough to look it in the eye, it shows you everything you tried not to see. Not to shame you, not to punish you, but to wake you up. Because sleepwalking through life might be easier, but it's not living. And no matter how deep you bury it, how loud you play the music, how bright you paint your smile, the truth doesn't forget where you live. It remembers. And eventually, it comes calling, not to hurt you, but to drag you back to yourself. Society rewards masks and punishes authenticity. That's the punchline, isn't it? The joke we all pretend not to hear. Put on the mask, say the right things, smile like you mean it. That's the game. They don't want the real you. Oh no, the real you is messy, loud, conflicted, honest. That makes people uncomfortable. But wear the mask, talk how they talk, walk how they walk, and boom, you're in. Welcome to the circus. You're now officially acceptable, now behave. They hand you the costume early. Maybe even before you learn how to spell your own name. This is who you're supposed to be, they say. This is what good people do. This is what success looks like. So you obey. You dress like them, talk like them, dream their dreams instead of your own, because that's the ticket in. That's how you get the applause. But deep down, something itches. It doesn't, and no matter how much you smile, you feel the strain in your face, because it's not your smile, it's theirs. Be yourself, they say, but only if it doesn't scare us. Only if it's polished and palatable. Speak your mind, they say, but only if it fits the narrative. Only if it doesn't rattle the cage. The moment you step out of line, say something real, feel something raw, they recoil. You've changed. You're acting weird. Translation, you've stopped pretending. And the world doesn't know what to do with people who stop pretending. You'd think authenticity would be a breath of fresh air, but nah, it's a threat. It reminds people of what they've buried, of the parts of themselves they locked away to survive. So when they see someone being real, it hits a nerve. It's not that they hate you, they hate that you're free. They hate that you're brave enough to do what they won't, to be what they can't. That's why they push back. That's why they laugh. Not because you're ridiculous, but because they're terrified you're right. And yet, they'll cheer for the mask. They'll promote the lie. As long as it looks good, sounds good, sells well. Ever notice how the fakest people have the biggest platforms? That's no accident. That's design. Real scares them. Real doesn't sell easily. It doesn't fit the brand. It doesn't post well. But plastic? Plastic is perfect. Plastic doesn't sweat. Plastic doesn't cry. It smiles on cue and dies quietly behind the scenes. So what do? We adapt. We split ourselves. One version for the world, another we hide, one they love, one they'll never meet. And the longer you play that game, the harder it gets to remember which one is real. You start to believe the mask is you, until one day you're alone in a room and the silence is deafening. Not because it's loud, but because it's honest. That's when you hear it, that whisper. From the part of you that never forgot, the one that's been waiting for you to take off the costume. But it's not easy. Oh no, being real, that's war. It costs you. People walk away. Opportunities dry up. The applause dies down. Because truth doesn't come with a standing ovation. It comes with loneliness, with resistance, with exile. But you know what else it brings? Peace. Not the fake kind, not the I'm fine kind. The kind where you look in the mirror and finally recognize the eyes staring back. The kind where you breathe without holding your breath. They won't tell you that, though. They'll say you're too much, too raw, too different. But maybe that's exactly what the world needs. Not more puppets, not more echoes, but someone brave or broken enough to show their scars and still smile. Someone who isn't trying to win the crowd, but trying to find their soul. And yeah, it's lonely. Yeah, it hurts, but faking it hurts more. Living a lie eats at you, slowly, quietly, until one day you wake up and realize you don't recognize your own voice. That's the real danger. Not rejection, not failure, but becoming a stranger to yourself just to be liked by people who don't even know you. So if the choice is between applause for a role or silence for the truth, give me the silence. Let them laugh, let them leave, because at the end of the day, the mask might win the crowd, but it loses the soul. And I'd rather be hated for who I am than loved for who I'm not. Even if it means walking alone, even if it means burning the stage down with me still on it. They say that truth sets you free, but they forget to mention the part where it first tears everything apart. You want freedom? It's not wrapped in a gift box with a ribbon. It's bloody. It's brutal. It's chaos in disguise. People beg for clarity, for purpose, for some grand revelation. But the moment it knocks on their door, they bolt it shut and pretend they're not home. Because the truth, oh, it's inconvenient. It ruins dinner plans. It doesn't care if you're not ready. It arrives anyway, uninvited, with blood on its boots and smoke in its breath. You ever notice how hard people work to avoid themselves? Whole industries built around distraction, endless shows, endless scrolling, noise, more noise, because if it gets too quiet, something starts crawling up from the basement of their soul. Something true. And that scares them more than any monster under the bed. The real monsters, they live in silence, in reflection, in honesty, So we drown them out. Keep moving, keep smiling, keep lying. But eventually, the lies pile up. You can only pretend so long before the mask starts to crack. And when it does, that's when people panic. That's when they run to new distractions, new labels, new identities, anything to avoid sitting in that dark room with their real self. Because that version, it's not curated, it's not Instagram friendly. It's messy, hurt, angry, confused. The one who remembers every lie you told just to be accepted. The one who whispers, "This isn't who you are," when you try to sleep at night. You see, people don't break because they're weak. They break because they've spent years being something they're not. And the soul, it doesn't play along forever. It rebels, it sabotages, it screams from inside the cage until the job, the relationship, the lifestyle, it all collapses. And from the outside, people whisper, they lost it. No, they didn't lose anything. They finally dropped what wasn't real. And the world, it punishes them for that. Because when someone chooses truth, it exposes all the lies everyone else is still clinging to. You want to scare someone? Tell them the truth about themselves. Not the sweet version, not the motivational poster. The real, raw truth. The one that cuts, that doesn't care about your feelings, that says you're not living, you're hiding, you're dying in slow motion while calling it stability. That kind of truth, it doesn't hug you, it slaps you hard. And you either wake up or go back to sleep, pretending it never happened. But for those who choose to wake up, oh, it's not a fairy tale. It's not some triumphant montage with background music. It's lonely, it's ugly, it's nights of questioning everything you ever believed. People will leave, your reputation gone, your comfort shattered. Because truth doesn't make deals. It doesn't negotiate. It burns everything false to the ground. And then it dares you to build something real from the ash. And most won't. Most will run back to the illusion, the paycheck, the praise, the scripted life. Because even a golden cage is still a cage. And freedom, real freedom, it requires madness. The madness to let go of everything you were told you needed. The madness to trust your own voice after years of drowning it out. The madness to look at yourself, naked, broken, honest, and say, "This is me, and that's enough." That kind of freedom, it's rare, dangerous, beautiful in the way wildfires are beautiful, destructive but necessary. You don't find truth on a mountaintop. You find it in the ruins, in the aftermath, in the silence after everything's been stripped away. It doesn't arrive with fanfare. It crawls in through the wreckage, sits beside you and says, "Now we can begin." Not with perfection, not with certainty, but with something real. Something you don't have to fake. Something that doesn't vanish when the lights go out. People say they want truth. What they mean is they want comfort that feels deep. They want words that sound profound but don't challenge them. They want to be told they're already enough without doing the work to find out why they feel so empty. But truth, it doesn't flatter. It doesn't console. It confronts. It asks, why are you still pretending? And it won't stop until you answer, not with words, with change, with choices, with courage. The funny thing? Once you start living in truth, the world seems louder, funnier, more absurd, because you finally see it. The games, the masks, the desperate hunger for approval. And while everyone else is still performing, still clapping for the script, you're backstage tearing it to shreds. Not because you hate them, but because you finally love yourself enough to stop performing. And that's where the real story begins.